do. For instance, like David Kramer, that was my greatest, and up till today, my greatest wish to film like a documentary concerning, because I love music, to do that up-country music. But due to some circumstances, no financial background, no financial backup, and the system didn't allow me actually to do that. And luckily, at the end of the day, somebody like David, he thought he could actually to do it. And myself, I met him in 1980 already, where I was the MC of the show. I really have to really beg the guys who was playing with me in the band actually to accept him to do a gig with us. And now today, I mean, David he stopped well-known international and national artists. So, but that was my greatest wish, really, because I believe that the music can bring people together, and do bring people together all over the world, wherever you go. It's an international language.
Sure. Now, have you ever been confronted by anybody saying, why do you speak the language of the oppressor?
Many a times, because some people normally, where I'm working, I do have like a senior position. And my surname is Bergh, B-E-R-G-H. And normally when the people come around, they're looking for the manager by the same, they're looking for Mr. Bergh. Then they're looking for somebody with this color. Then I'm telling them, okay,
the color of your shirt, not your skin.
Not my skin, this. Then I tell him, okay, Mr. Bergh will come now, wait. Then I'll come sit. No, then I ask him, can I perhaps help? He said, no, I want to speak to Mr. Bergh. I said, okay, fine. Just I will come around. Then later on come and said, okay, it's me. He said, you, Mr. Bergh. I said, what's wrong? He said, but your appearance and your gear, your dressing, and your surname and your name, it doesn't make sense. So it happened many a times. And sometimes I'm really funny. And I'm telling the people, no, I'm only the tea boy. Mr. Bergh will come. But at the end of the day, I have to come to because I have to sign the orders. But that's life all about. Sometimes we judge people by their appearance, which is totally wrong. When I first met David, I have to sell him to the band members. Please, this man with that red suit, they call it a rooi velskoene, accept this guy. He said, no, we don't want him because he's singing Afrikaans, and that's not our way of doing interaction with the people. And where's David today? But of course, even I was lucky in 1988. I was at Pakistan, and I had to give a report of from the religious side. And there was people from India, actually all over the world. The whole world was there. And normally there's a translator speaking Urdu, then translate. Normally most of the people speaking English, then they translate it into Urdu, Farsi, Hindi, whatever language is there. And so they asked me, okay, Shaheen, you next, you have to give a report of South Africa. So how are you going to address the people? I said, I'm from South Africa, I'm going to address the people in Afrikaans. So luckily there was some person who can translate it. He said, but why in Afrikaans? I said, but this is my mother tongue. So why must be, I'm not ashamed speaking Afrikaans. So I addressed the people in Afrikaans and they translate it into the different languages. So not I'm boasting about it because I'm a South African. Because funny enough, 1992 I went to Malaysia, and believe it or not, on the airport, but those people didn't know that I was from South Africa. Right? So there was people from Cape Town staying, and almost our people were talking their English and the proper English. So I thought to myself, rather speak Afrikaans, because we were on the airport there in Singapore, what's called airport. I wanted to shout, Vrystaat, to let them understand, address them, your colleague in your name, that's your local language. Why impress the people? According to me, if you address me in English, I'll try to address you in English, but why must an Afrikaans person laugh when the Afrikaans person try to speak English? I address him, if you accept it, even in meetings, normally if I can, I speak it in Afrikaans. So translate it from, because this is my mother tongue. And I'm proud, actually, to speak. What's wrong with that? Because that's the way how I can communicate.
Are there people that feel you shouldn't be proud of Afrikaans?
No, there's some people that say, but why do you address us in Afrikaans? And then I ask them, why not? Just tell me why not. Why English?
And what's the answer?
Nobody can't give me an answer. Because you must be internationally. I say, sorry, I don't want to talk politics, but I've got the English people, sorry. I've got nothing to do with them. It's their ways, how they was doing things, and how they actually want to rule. But believe me or not, they did really make inroads all over the world. Wherever you come, the people are speaking the English, what's called language. So that means to say there wasn't like, they promote their language, they promote their culture. So why, if I'm going to America or to in any other country, why must I hide away my own language or my own culture? I mean, this is my dress. I'm working for the government, and this is a way of dress. This is my dress. Whether if I have to meet Mr. Mandela, or for instance, like Monday, I have a workshop with the Minister of Provincial Health. So this is my gear. Not way because he's here and I have to put on a double three-piece suit. Because I believe if you are natural, you'll never get tired. But if you like put on a show, it won't last. Never ever it will happen. Therefore, coming back to music, why did the racial children make such a great impact nationally and internationally? Because they was original. They didn't imitate like us. We imitate all the American bands, all the jazz groups, top groups. We didn't make it. They was original. Like Floris Brown, a well-known poet, I think well-known internationally, nationally well-known, but unfortunately, if you go into like in the computer, on the website, is there any information concerning Floris Brown? No history? Why not? So somebody slipped up. The same happened to Dr. Ahmed Davids, well-known historian. Nobody knew him. And unfortunately, afterwards, I read that he was somehow related to me. But I mean, I need that type of access. A month ago, I found Look and Listen. I told them I'm looking for a CD of Nico Carstens. And they looked at me and said, what do you want to do with Nico Carstens' music? Because I told them my father was an accordion player, and he was one of the top people playing the accordion, and Nico Carstens is tops. So there's even, according to my knowledge, I couldn't get hold of any music or any history concerning him. But in a nutshell, I think if a person is natural, then you'll make it. But if you put on a show, you won't make it. Never ever. If you're natural, you'll keep on doing it. Like they said, if you tell a lie, you must keep on lying. But if you're talking the truth, you stick to the truth. But make up stories, somebody's going to make up. But at the end of the day, just to come back to my input in the community, I love working with different types of people. Where are you from? I mean, myself and the florists, like Muslim people, Hindu people, Christian people. For instance, like this coming Saturday, I'm giving sound for free there's a gospel group in the vet, poor people. I give them sound, I don't charge them a cent because music is in my blood. Music came from my family. And I think that also that is an international language. That's my belief, whether it's classical music, whether it's like jazz, whether it's this, what type of music it is. We bring people together.
It's beautiful to hear your wisdom, and it's naturally from you as an individual. Do you feel, because I just heard, incidentally, just earlier today, as I was speaking with some people earlier, they said that the Christian and Muslim community in Worcester just are very well connected and live together very nicely.
Very well, because there's like there's like intermarriages also. But even like I think 2 weeks ago here, I attended one of my friends is also in the music line, Ronnie Apollos, well known also in South Africa. His brother passed away, so I attended in church. So I organized the sound frames on that side. So both sides, I mean, we're all human. We're all from the father, what they call it, Adam.
Yeah.
There's no difference.
Yeah, it's nice to hear that, you can speak about your own community and say, we've got a very harmonious relationship and a respectful relationship with each other's religions, and we support each other and are connected as friends and so forth.
And I think, sorry to cut you, I think that kept us together all over the years. It's come to music, especially music, and sports also, but music is international language. As I said, I mean, Floris Brown, well-known musician, Dion Kleinans, Greg Smith, Richard John Smith, Lionel Peterson, El Eto. I mean, we're all friends. We're like a family, you see. So there's no, whether you're white or black, if you like music, what else, more what you want. Because normally when I'm down and out, I just close myself in my room, put on some music, and I feel slowly that stress disappear.
How did apartheid shape your personality?
Apartheid actually forced me to work and to live with white, brown, black.
In what way?
Because different cultures, different people I've met, because I've met over the years, I've met different type of people, different class of people, and I have to liaise with them, I have to speak to them, because without the next person, I can't survive. And that is my outcome, that is my belief, that according to me, there's no difference. Maybe there's a difference in color outwardly, but inwardly, I think there's no difference. Because I've got friends, also a very great friend of mine, Richard Mwabi Malgas, well-known person, unfortunately, no financial backup, a top magician, staying in Suriname. He's speaking Afrikaans better than me. A black guy, if I can put it this way. But we have to live in harmony. I think there's ways how to get, because it's important. Because people working under me, there's white people, can put it this way, it is African people, it is colored people. So we try to live in harmony. And some of them normally ask me, but how is it possible that you interlink with the people? Say, do you have to travel through this world and see what's it all about? If you just, surely I think, if I should have only stayed in South Africa, then I would have only had this type of picture, oh, this is what's the world all about. I traveled talking about apartheid. If you must go to people like places like in India, I'm telling you, if you're not from India, but you have to stand that side, sorry. And that fighting between India and Pakistan is unreal. We're talking about apartheid. You can see it physically, they'll show you. I mean, you can see it today. Cricket, if you're from Pakistan, you must be careful not to land up in India. And if in India, be careful, don't land up in what's going in Pakistan. Same like that. I feel, but now I think South Africa, so far, we did quite very good, well. I think we survived. Okay, on school, I had a terrible course. Normally, I challenged people when I was small. And I was still on primary school. There was like that merry-go-rounds. So the white people was on that side and the coloreds on that side. And my friends told me, Shaheen, we dare you to go there to that swings. And I went there. And they give me a yellow for hiding at the end of the day.
They gave you hiding?
They give me a yellow for hiding.
Who?
But the white people.
They did?
Yes. But to be honest, I've got no grudge against them.
Now tell me a bit about this is kind of an interesting moment.
No, what?
So you went over there, you were swinging on the white, quote unquote,
I was on
white
my
swing.
way to go to the swings.
And what happened?
The colored people was this side.
Yeah.
And the whites was that side.
Yes.
So they say, my friends told me, they challenged me. I told them,
You
what's
go.
wrong? I'll go there.
Okay.
Because I don't have any fighting with them.
Sure.
And as I landed there, they just hit me one thing.
Like when you say they, was it young kids your age?
I think was from old till young. They just because that was in the 70s.
How did you
70s.
feel about that?
I feel I did make a mark. I'm also here. It's not only you people. That was my belief.
Yeah.
Because if I should have just stayed that side, so that other people, there wasn't, how can I put it this way? Because just think, at the end of the day, then we will accept that separation.
Yeah.
According to the people, we did accept just to stay there. But I accepted challenge, and I went there, and I did make a mark. They give me hiding, but up till today, I got no grudge what's going on. But I did make a mark that I'm also here. Although I can make use of that facilities or what stuff it is,
Yeah.
but I'm also, it's for you to decide whether you want me here or you don't want me here.
Yeah.
But I also want to have access, let's call it to that.
Now, apartheid defined us. It defined you as, they looked at you and say, okay, you white, or you black, or you colored, or you Indian.
You see,
Now, that layer was imposed upon us. If I can ask you, how would you like us to identify ourselves today? Because we still relate a lot to this concept of Indian, colored, black or white. Those were the categories created. And if you were Chinese or something else, we didn't quite know what to do with you because we don't have that right box. So we have to throw you in one of these other boxes.
Yeah.
You know, if you're from Malaysia, most likely colored. Maybe not. Let's see. You know, let's try and figure out where we're going to throw you in. How would you like the identity of South Africans to be today? Let me ask you this: how do you identify yourself? Do you connect to these boxes that we already have in the country?
I see myself as a human being.
Yeah.
That's what been created by God. But unfortunately was by the circumstances, according to the other people's belief, that he's seeing. But that is not that's why God created this different people to fight with one another, just to live in harmony, so that we can recognize one another. So that's my seeing. I don't want to be different from you.
Yeah.
No. But one thing I can tell you, because unfortunately, that time, I think I was between more than just between white and so-called colored, because they saw us as Those days, the people saw us as disbelievers. In the history books, I'm still hunting, trying to get in the history books. What's that Afrikaans word for they call it? According to them, that we didn't believe in God, the Muslims. And I was classified as a Kaapse Malayer. I don't know if you got that history. So I wasn't not really a colored. I wasn't whatever the case may be. So I was a Kaapse Malayer. So they saw me from people from Malaysia and not part of South Africa. So they can see the battle. I had the battle with my so-called own people, and I had the battle also with the white people, and I had the battle with the African people. And up till today, you can see sometimes, from where are you? Are you from South Africa? If they check my surname and my name, according to them, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Even up till today.
Yeah, but it was Bergh.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense
feels,
to them.
looks kind of German in a bit.
It does make sense.
And I don't see any German in you, you know?
Not at all. And if I tell them that my grandmother was from Wales, then they're more confused. But look at you. She was Mrs. Jones, blue eyes, and my grandfather was Indian, this color. So you can see, I think black and white give you more or less this type of color. But I'm quite happy what I am.
Yeah.
I've got no regret. I'm happy.
So you find today, even from all the racial groups in South Africa, people try to put you in a box and they don't know where to go with you.
Stop. And unfortunately, with this,
How do you respond to that?
sometimes according to my mood that day. If I'm in a good mood, I'll accept it. Otherwise, I'll tell you, hey, bugger off. Because normally, unfortunately, what happened now with this, that Bin Laden story. Many times the people call me, hey, Bin Laden. The son said, smile, and sometimes I just feel, must I give him an answer or must I keep quiet? Sometimes it's best to keep quiet because I think you haven't got the knowledge, you don't know what it's all about. The people got the totally wrong conception. What is Islam all about or what is to be human all about? Unfortunately, that's it.
Now, when you've been in a wise mood and someone tried to call you, hey, Bin Laden, that type of thing, how do you change the...
I tell him, just watch it. Just watch me. So he's confused. I was at one session, he was in Ceres, with one of my friends, Dion. He's well known to Floris Brown. He was a lead singer of Racial Children, but he's doing his own thing now. So I had a Springbok cap and a Springbok jersey. They said, hey, they call all the people in Ceres, yes, Amala. So I was thinking, Amala, the cricketer. So I think, must I get cross now with these people, or is it a joke?
because he's got that big beard now.
He's got the big beard now. So I said, no, I'm not Amala. I try to be Amala. So it all depends according to you, whatever you're going to tell the people. If I'm going to lose my temper, it won't benefit me at the end of the day.
So you use humor most of the time?
Yes, I just laugh. I just laugh at them. And we normally say Bin Laden, I tell them, just watch me. Don't play with me. Now he's confused. Is this serious or just he's pulling my leg? But that's the life at the end of the day.
Now, finally, I'd like to ask you, you told me earlier, before we were rolling on the camera, you said, it feels like there's you used the word fire with the youth.
Totally out of control.
That they're out of control, that
totally
whole concept.
Out of control, I'm telling you.
Now, I'd like to ask you just to describe that a bit of what is so different today than 20 years ago with the youth, and any advice that you've got. How can we pull together, you and me, to make this situation a little better, or to give direction where there's no direction?
Before I give you that answer, sometimes getting into hot water by normally making not my own statements, but I've mentioned once that I think we were saved actually by apartheid, because those days, certain time on the street, if you get in the street, you're in trouble. If you don't work, I don't know what's the right word, but I will tell you they call it put in a werkskolonie. We'll put you something. So there was system, there was discipline. Today it's open. You can do whatever you want. The people will stand on the streets doing nothing. Previously, if the police will catch you in the street doing nothing, they'll have to give the explanation. But nowadays, they can do nothing. So there's no control. Where is it? Is it from outside? Did the new government, did they fail in the vision or a job or what? Because looking at the TV is corruption. How is it possible? Why? There's no answer for the kids who's been caught up in these drugs. Is there no answer? It's like wildfire. Nobody can control it. Like somebody last week I visited somebody in the prison. He's involved with a group of hope, and normally also given also with some sound. He said if the government can't control crime outside, inside the prisons, how can they control it outside? I mean, inside you've got warders there, you've got guns there, you've got keys there, but still smuggling, murdering, killing, raping, still going in the prison. Now, what about outside? So what are we going to do? How are we going to combat this? I think when everybody will realize, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're black, whether you're white, if we can realize that we are all human beings and we have to respect one another like in the olden days, then I think we'll achieve it. Otherwise, I'll tell you, to me, I just tell you that even look at this crime all over. Why? I don't know what happened.
What about leadership?
Leadership.
Do you feel there is leadership, or do you feel?
No, I don't think.
Or what can we do in that respect?
No, I think unfortunately, as a pity, Mr. Mandela, he retired so quickly. I think after he retired, he's from the political scene. I'm just afraid when he's going to leave this world. I'm just afraid. I think we're sitting like a time bomb, I'm telling you. I don't hope that things will go that bad like in overseas. But I think he's, as a father, still keep us as a nation together. But I fear that day when Mr. Mandela will leave this world. I don't know what we're going to do, really. Today it's still like a fairy tale. We just think about it. But we don't know how is it to live in places like Syria, like in Afghanistan. And I don't hope that this will happen to our country. After so much sacrifices was being done by Mr. Mandela and his colleagues. Yeah. I'm telling you, I think we really, according to me, I think we really disappoint him. We as a nation for what's going on here. Because you can't just blame the government. All of us are part of government. And we have to see that things are going the right way. All of us are to be blamed. You can't just put the blame on the government or Helen Zille or whatever the case may be, or the fight between Helen Zille and the ANC. All of us are part and parcel. If we can stand up and say, look here, we have to draw a line, stop your fighting or inward fighting and look at the real need of the people. Even up till today, people with no water, running water, no proper toilets. How many years after the apartheid was abandoned? How is it possible? I don't understand it. I really don't know. How can we solve the problem? Because I think the people have lost their objective in life, and we have forgotten that we have to leave this world. We are living on this world as if we're going to live forever and forever and forever. We have to make preparations for the year after. We forget that. Unfortunately, it's a sad case. To come back to my point again, I can't overstress it. What Mr. Mandela and all these comrades and all the people went through, I think we really disappoint them. And if they will allow him to have a live broadcast now, just to open his heart, I think that will help a lot.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I just hope we don't fall in a place like Afghanistan and Kashmir, where people are fighting unnecessarily just to be Mr. Somebody. All of us are Mr. Nobody, and we are working. Mr. Somebody is God. We are all a Mr. Nobody, and we are working for Mr. Somebody. But as I said now, it's just I don't want to stop this whole conversation on a negative note, but it makes you sad. But at the end of the day, with people like you, people like Flores, people like Mr. Mandela, and those who are there who try to lift the families, I just hope that they can pull it through. And I'll try my utmost to assist wherever I can. I'm just glad also to meet these people here from overseas. I want them actually to feel at home here in South Africa. And not because our home, where's our home? Mm-hmm. Our home is not here. Our home is in heaven. All depends what we're going to do here. Because one of my friends, he hated when he said, I'm a South African, I'm from Bangladesh. And he said, no, man, we're all human people. But at the end of the day, I just hope that things will end up in a nice way. And I pray that God Almighty must make it such that we don't turn into a country like Afghanistan and whatever, there's we totally disorder. But at the end of the day, we must, like there's one song of Flores, I'll enter with that one, and he said, until tomorrow. If you go through that words of that song, there's so much to learn out of that lyrics. I won't give it now to you, but try to make a point just to get the lyrics what they call Until Tomorrow by the Racist Children. And there's also one, just to end off, I think there's one, Where Did We Go Wrong was the one, and there was one, not on the other side of the mountain, there's one song also written by Flores where he talk about what's going on with the people. Crazy World, that's a song. Unfortunately, if SABC must give the racial children that opportunity also to play their songs on our national TV, and especially do that song, Crazy World, and the people have an understanding what we went through and what we avoid to do. So that's my words of advice, and I hope at the end of the day that all of us will meet one another sitting at the feet of God Almighty, smiling at one another. And sorry for my English, I'm Afrikaans speaking, and it's my home language.
Baie dankie, dit was pragtig geweest.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Baie dankie.
Thanks.